All right, I think we're on. Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, happy Friday. I don't know if it's like anyone else, but like losing track of days. So I'm so excited. Angie, thank you so much for being on. So, you guys, I think everyone knows that you were my heart and soul. And I'm just so grateful. And you show up so much for me, for everyone, for every person and every soul that needs you. And I needed you today, and you showed up for me, and I love you, and thank you.
Aw, so sweet. Yeah, I needed you too.
And like
You
we
know?
need, yeah, and we need this. And so I think the energy, at least for me today, and you know this, right, is so different. And so to be real and transparent with like everyone watching is like I woke up, I didn't sleep at all last night. And was in this very fear-based like panic mode. I woke up with like my nervous system on fire. And I called
Mm.
Angie and was like, girl, like I don't even know what's up from down right now. And for me, like, I mean, you and I have been able to be in so much contact, and I'm so grateful. And for me, leaning into love is knowing when you're at your capacity and like you need to reach out to other people. And like, even though
Mm.
we're in isolation, like, it doesn't mean we're alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
it's,
your core that know you at your core, right? So your
mm-hmm,
core knows you at your core, and that's who you reach out to.
mm-hmm,
For me, it's you, it's my mom. I have Jesus, so many people that
yeah.
that I can reach out to as well, and I do, and it's easier sometimes not to reach out, but it's much harder when you don't in the long run,
Mm,
you
that's so
know?
good. That's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy. So, like, last night I did like the sisterhood circle with like a few of the other like amazing women in my life. And I just got off the phone with my mom, and we were talking about like positivity. And I was like, I'm working, not even hard, like, but I'm just being intentional of filling my life with positive, supportive people. And she's like, wow, it's so hard right now in these times. And I was like, actually, it's not. Actually, it's been easier for me to find the positive support in my life than ever before because I have become that for others. And so others are showing up as that for me. And like, you are that, like, you are the epitome of love and positive, unconditional support for everybody. Like, and that's what's crazy, right? Like, for every person in your life, you're that. And so, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's important to say that because, like you said, it's harder when we don't reach out. And if anyone listening is in a spot of like, I'm having a hard time finding connection and finding help, I invite you to look in the mirror and say, like, how do I need to open up more? How do I need to be
Mm.
more vulnerable?
Mm-hmm.
And invite that
Yeah.
in. What do you say?
Yeah, I say it's every day,
Mm,
like there's when you don't know how, you don't have to know how. You don't know what you don't know, right? Um, my mom said that, and actually my boyfriend just said that in an email. Um, and they're both very right. You don't know what you don't know. And also like we it's just important that we seek connection. We seek, knowledge. We seek divine, connection to spirit, call it whatever you want to call it. I say that all the time. That's actually from a Jen Sincero book. I love her. The How to Be a Badass
yeah,
series.
yeah.
Um, and, she's like, call it Jah, Buddha, whatever you want to call it. There's a higher power bigger than you, and you just got to talk to it. We talked about this yesterday. And also, like, figure out what you really need. You knew when you called me, you needed silence. And
Yeah.
I nudged you and I said, okay, go now,
Mm-hmm.
go do it.
Okay, but say the exact question that you asked me though, because I think that it's important that if you don't have someone in your life asking you this specific question, you ask yourself this question.
What do you need in this moment
Mm-hmm.
most?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I want to.
What is this fear telling you?
Mm-hmm.
Ask it. what is this feeling telling you? What does your nervous system on fire mean? Where is it landing? You know, like you go into that place, you lean into it. That's how you lean in. You're asking yourself, okay, hey, fear, hey, panic, what are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
And when you're silent, or when you go to the place that you need to go to, you and I need water. Talked about
Totally.
that yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, when you need water, or you need grounding, or, you know, you need to go lay in your front yard,
Yeah.
or whatever it might be, then you got to do it. And the people that you reach out to are going to ask you those questions. What do you need?
Yeah. Yeah.
How can I help?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So what is
And
this telling you?
and I think that was like, that was so powerful. And so talking about, and then we pulled cards, right before we got on. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I think that, you know, for everyone, quarantine is hard, right? Like staying in one place and not being able to go out is hard. My situation is like, I think a little different. It's not harder or easier, just different, of like being in the van, not really having anywhere else to go because everything's closed. And Robbie's mom just started chemo. So like, you know, we can't go in the house. Another house has like fleas and like has skunks living underneath. And it's like, you just don't want to go in there. And then his sister works at a hospital, and like need to be quarantined from her. It's been either 100 degrees or it's been pouring outside. And so we're also in this together. He's right here too.
Hi, Robbie.
He's working right now. But like him, like, and I,
right there,
right, like right here all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm right here all the time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And so it's also like understanding the circumstance and like what I need right now. And this is nothing to do with Robbie, is everything to do with me. And what I need is, I need alone time. I need space. And we just haven't had the ability to take what we need, or we haven't had the opportunity. So how can I still give it to myself in the capacity in which I can give it to myself, right? And that was what was so important. You were like, go sit, you know, I went and sat by the creek, and it was silent, and there's birds everywhere, and it was beautiful. And I saw a turtle and a snake, and like just sat there in silence. And I feel so much more grounded, that I thought I needed an entire day by myself, when really, if I was intentional and said, okay, like what can I give? I can give myself 20 minutes, right? And if you're in the healthcare industry, you might not be able to even give yourself that, right? Like, we don't know, like wherever you are, what can you give yourself in your life? And how can it be enough for this moment? How can you be so intentional about what you are needing that you show up for yourself for however long you can to fill yourself up? And
absolutely.
I think I was like, I just wanted to share that too, because we all have our challenges, and we all have the other stuff going on in our life besides the quarantine. But I feel like it's just packing on, right?
Yeah.
Like, you feel it?
Yeah. Oh, I totally feel it. And do you remember what else I said?
No, maybe. I don't know. You said a lot. What else did you say?
So you're like, okay, here's the plan. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna hop on a live.
Yeah.
Don't hop on until you're ready.
Yeah.
And please don't add anything else into your day today.
Mm-hmm.
Your energetic bubble
Mm-hmm.
is safe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we absolutely can add, or need, you know, we can add all kinds of things. We're capable. Like, we don't need to sleep, you know, like, or whatever. It's like, we're a high throttle and a high vibe all the time, you know? So, and the reason why I said that is because what if somebody calls you and you need them, they need you the way that I needed you this morning, today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to want to be available.
Yeah.
You're going to want to be there. You're going to want to be grounded. You know, my sister Danny had an emergency coaching call last night. Like, her people needed her. Boom. And she's like, hey girl, I got an emergency call. And I was like, you're good. Go. You know? And you're exactly right. Our healthcare workers are drained right now. You know, I was on a call with my sister Nicole last night, and she was just kind of talking about like what the reality is, and she oversees other nurses, you know, they're like deployed is literally the term into different places at any time. They follow the need, and so, and it's just the reality that we're living in, and that is, affected, and that we're affected by, and we know what to do. We just need to be reminded sometimes,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Because we see that, right? Like and I think that's what true connection, right, and soul connection is like we're mirrors for one another, of like, hey, and you and I have talked about this too, but I don't think we've talked about it on anything that's been live, but like we vow, right, just like you vowed to Danny, like you and I vow to remind each other, right, of our power. And you guys, like, you need this in your life. You need people in your life to help you remember your power, your ability, your love, your strength, like what you are here for. You need people to help you remind yourself your essence, your truth, because we forget it. Every single one of us forgets it. And so call on those in your life. And if you don't have it, right, there's two people right here on this video, right, that have devoted our lives to helping remind people their essence.
Yeah, show them their worth, and help them stay there, and connect and reconnect. Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah. And so I think, I mean, I feel like today, for me, like the whole message is, I mean, and it's been, this time has been like sisterhood, support, like, and even, and regardless of your gender, right? Like create your siblinghood, like your family, your soul family, like the people who raise you up.
Yeah. Good exhale.
Yeah.
I love you.
I exhale a lot. There's this amazing woman that I used to work with. Her name was Zenzel Carr. And she was this empowerment coach with me at this low income, like for this nonprofit that worked with low income single parents. And she to me is bigger than Oprah. She has a bigger gift than Oprah. And she would become so passionate and so in it and sit in it with somebody without fear. Like she was the most fearless, resilient human I've ever met in my life. And she would take on someone's energy, and the next thing you know, you would look at her and she'd be like, and she'd blow it into the ground. She would stop in mid-sentence, give the 2 exhales or 3 exhales or 5 exhales, whatever she needed to completely release the energy, and then show fully back up to hold the space.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Erin did that in our first session, and
really?
It was like I was like, this is cool. You know what I mean? Because she was helping me release a DNA block, which I had no idea I had. Yeah. And so, there's she even, needed to kind of like pace around the room and like burn it off on a candle, big extra exhales, and huge breaths. Yeah, she's really good at it, because she used to be like an opera singer, and she's a sonic priestess, and like she does all of her healing with her sound, like with her voice.
Well, and so everyone listening, the Erin was on Tuesday, so like everyone has, so like that's who Angie's talking about. Yeah, so that's who Angie is talking about. So like, you can feel her power and the space that she holds,
and you feel so safe.
Yeah,
so safe.
Yeah.
And held, literally held. It's amazing. Yeah. So everybody go follow Miss Erin Saniva McCall.
That's right. Yeah. And so I think that it's like also important, like talking about that energy. And did you and we talked about this yesterday, right? Like when your energy is not created or destroyed. Was it you and I talking about this yesterday, or was it the day before? I might have been talking about this with someone else. I can't remember. Days are all running together, but it's important. And I know you and I talked about it before. but
Mm-hmm.
energy is not created or destroyed, right? And
Mm.
so like it's only transferable,
And shifted.
transmutable, yeah,
Yeah,
and shifted.
absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
so if you do take on energy, which like, like you did the other night, right? Like I did today and this morning, and like you feel the energy that is like, I felt mine last night. Literally, I felt it in like this circle ball in my stomach. And
Mm.
like I needed to, through my exhaling and through breathing and through grounding and like visually seeing it release, like that is how I transferred it. But or like through exercise, right? Through song, through whatever action, like communication, we need
Mm-hmm.
to transfer that energy out of us. Otherwise we hold on to it.
Yeah, yeah. My legs shake.
Really.
Mm-hmm. They were last night.
Mm.
And I built a fire in my chimenea.
Mm.
Sat down. I was like, okay, fire.
Yeah.
Like, I want to feel safe right now. I'm scared. Like I'm shaking.
Mm.
It's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I had MFR,
I don't know what that
myofascial
is.
release therapy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Legs, so
Mm.
much pain, like and so much release. Like,
Yeah.
holy cow!
Was this
Wow.
yesterday?
No, with
Okay.
the leg shaking was last night.
Okay.
Yeah, and then MFR was with my girlfriend Molly,
Okay.
and I've had MFR with her husband Jason as well. They
Yeah.
actually like one of their first dates was like a MF myofascial release therapy seminar for Jason to work on Molly. He needed a woman.
Wow.
like whoa! I was like,
That's
you
so
two
funny.
are next, not in this world. I love you
Yeah.
both, like so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty
That's so,
amazing.
yeah. And like, and so what are some of your ways of transferring the energy? So like your fire, right?
So
What else?
yeah, like when we've talked about like, like if I'm feeling usually when I'm feeling like angry,
Mm-hmm.
I don't add fire because that's, I need to listen to very calm, like cool, like light things, right? Or I'll pull a card from a lighter deck just like we did
Mm-hmm.
when I'm feeling heavy. Or angry, and or I'll sit by water or something like that if I'm feeling like sad or unsafe, or something like that. I might write down something that's not serving me and burn it, or you know I mean it's kind of interesting because it could go both ways. And because we talked about how anxiety and anger are very similar. Anxiety is usually very sad for me.
Yeah.
Like anger is always very fear based for me.
Mm-hmm.
So my anxiety actually lies in my feminine energy. And this is just awareness of myself. And my anger obviously lies in my masculine energy. And I'm a very masculine female. Like I lean towards, like, my ancestors worship the sun
Mm-hmm.
on my female side. So when I'm anxious, I usually just need to sit in the sun, or like meditate in the sun. And so I'm not like necessarily like, so my sun is taking care of my moon, if you get that kind of
Mm-hmm.
piece, right? And then my moon is taking care of my sun when I'm feeling aggressive and da 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 da. That's my moon, my water sign. We talked about this yesterday with the
Yeah.
elements. So yeah. And
That's
how can you do this, like balancing of, like, I almost like this orb of yourself in between your feminine and your masculine,
mm-hmm.
like getting my masculine, I get like way too focused on like principle, righteousness, solutions, tasks, Capricorn, and then
Yeah.
my moon, I get super weepy, almost like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I could be bipolar. My sister
Mm.
is, so it could be, it's like a bipolar energy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Super sad,
Yeah.
like, and allowing myself to be sad and to cry and to
Mm.
release in that moment, and throwing on, like, this is one of my favorite things. When I need a hug and I'm by myself, I put this thing on. It's like a
Mm.
yummy warm hug. I drink cacao, and like I'm just
Yeah.
like really trying to take care of myself with like those pieces, with that awareness. So
I love it. So can you, because just for the people who aren't as familiar with it, can you describe, like, because each of us have feminine and masculine energy, whether you're
Yeah.
male or female, right? Whatever, you know, identity orientation that you go towards, or gender identity you have. So can you describe like a little bit about like what are some of the feminine energy traits? It doesn't mean female, it just means like a lighter, flowier, right? And then
Yeah, sure.
the stronger the masculine.
Just the way that I understand it from like the many people that I've surrounded myself with and like the people that I follow, like Tiny Nicholas, love her, queen, you know, and so the feminine energy lies within all of us. It's where our like nurturing power comes from and like our ability to hold space, right? Like in the female womb. Erin once told me that I have a womb the size of the world. Like welcome people into your womb. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? You know? But like that's the capacity of my female energy. And it's very strong female energy, right? So I'm adding that masculine energy into it. And that's where I attract like magnetic strong women, right? And magnetic strong men. And they are looking and they're listening. They're like, oh, whoa, okay, this woman's strong. I need this, you know, and their masculine, that man's masculine might be recognizing my masculine. It happens all the time in the CrossFit gym, right? Recognizing my masculine and they're like, I need to be with her, like magnet, like heart, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, boom. So that's like that where like when you're showing up with like that, whatever that energy might be, and it's very unique, you're attracting, ultimately the point that I'm trying to make is you're attracting what the universe and what divine is understanding that you need in other people's energies, right? In order to bring you into a balanced energy. Does that help?
Yeah.
What about
Totally.
you? Do you
Yeah.
know your masculine, female energies? Like, what
I
is it? Where does it land with you?
I think oh, there's a truck going by right now.
Hey, truck.
Yeah, there's not been anyone for like a week. But so I mean I think I have of course like a balance of masculine and feminine. I think especially in my business, like again there's a balance, but when I'm like working, mine is like driving, I'm hustling,
Yeah.
like just that kind of very competitive nature of like, all right, let's go, let's do this, provide, let's go. Like that is, I have like such a driving masculine force. But then like what I've had to learn is like the sit in the silence and observing nature and like tapping into my intuition and like sitting and being guided. And so it's been really interesting watching myself, and I have actually like a really hard time too, like switching from that like driving, working, like building of a business and then checking out and then being
Yeah,
able to like in my coaching calls, like I can do that, but then I'm finding like at the end of the day in my relationship, then it's like, okay, let's go work out. Okay, I'm gonna write it. Okay, what are we gonna eat? Like I'm gonna plan it. Like, and I take over. And so I think right now I'm being invited to step more into my feminine and honestly don't know how. So
yeah.
that's like, that is, I think, such an interesting flow, especially when like, and I'd love to hear like your input on this too, of like the also like the protector but like mother, like a motherly, like a mama bear of okay, someone's hurt, someone's in need, like I'm coming to protect, like I'm coming to take care, I'm coming to nurture. But I also think that can also be like very masculine. So
Mm-hmm.
um so I'm like don't know exactly the balance of that,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. How can you mama bear yourself?
Yeah. Well, and that's like, that's also what I'm learning, right? Like
Right.
through this whole experience, I think one of the questions I asked on Monday was, what are you being invited to heal? Right.
Mm.
And like,
Mm.
that's like in this experience, what am I being invited to heal? One is creating the safety for myself. Cause that's like been a huge story that is coming up for me, is like, I am not safe. I'm not safe, which has been a pattern my whole life. And then mothering myself, nurturing myself, nourishing myself. Like
Mm-hmm.
those are the two things that I'm current, and that like kind of goes hand in hand. When I can mother and nurture myself, I feel safe. And so that's personally what I'm being invited to heal. What about
Mm-hmm.
you?
Wow, it's subconscious, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about this a lot, and I'm getting ready to get on a session in 30 minutes with
Yeah.
my mentor, my rest mentor, Kristen Hilmer, and it's rapid self-conscious clearing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're saying, okay, go back to, let me just describe it really quickly. You know that it's old
Mm-hmm.
energy, right? And you know in your conscious human, okay, that it's past, it's in the past lives, it keeps kind of showing up, and it's like it's coming here, and then like woof, it's taking over, right? And you've seen it before, you've been here before, okay, and it's familiar, and you
Mm-hmm.
know it's there. Your conscious human cannot possibly clear that, because you can't talk to your own subconscious. You need somebody else to help you heal that. Somebody else has to talk to your subconscious and say, okay, I see it, here it is. And there's a very clear method of doing so, which is what I'm with rest therapy. And it's really not therapy, it's just rapid subconscious clearing through amazing muscle testing, and it's all virtual also, like it's always all virtual. So it was just like amazing. And so then your subconscious can truly go to a place where it's feeling heard, and then that's where the shift happens, like because your subconscious is actually like in the light of, okay, this is what you're telling me, this is what the sphere is saying, and I'm safe, I'm cared for, I know what this is, and it doesn't come in the visceral level anymore because I've cleared that, and my habits can change. And and that's what clearing looks like, and that's what healing looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just like one thing that I do. But
I love it.
it's the awareness that it's not in your conscious being, it's in your
Yeah.
subconscious.
Yeah.
And your subconscious is still dictating your beliefs, your values, your faith, a lot of times your safety.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first questions in this therapy is, tell me a time when you feel like you first felt unsafe.
Yeah.
Because those feelings come up again and again and again.
Yeah.
You felt that, you felt
Totally.
unsafe.
Yeah.
For me, I was 1 month old
Yeah.
the first time. And then before that, 21 generations deep on my father's side. Like, huh? I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we went there
Yeah.
bravely, and
Yeah.
it's really cool. So
So this is like,
that's
this
my
is
little
what,
rant about
but I love it because
subconscious work.
this is awesome, because if there's a pattern, right, that keeps showing up in your life, for everyone listening, if there's a pattern that keeps showing up in your life, right, and in this time, like particularly because it's uncertain and unsure, and like there's things going on, different things than we've experienced before, this is going to bring up and invite you to heal, right? And a lot of times it's going to be your subconscious. And so then you can have more grace and compassion for yourself, because you're like, wait a second, I am not supposed to heal this on my own. I'm supposed to ask for help. I'm supposed to reach out. Like, I can't actually heal this on my own. I need someone that can help me do this. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what's so cool, is you can have the grace and compassion, because you now know that this isn't just up to you, because you don't know what you don't know. But then we just learned something, that what you're being invited to heal most likely is your subconscious, right? But you need help healing. And when you get
there's
the
help.
and there's help.
And there's help.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. Our only job is to ask for help. And how much better does that feel? Like,
I
that
feel lighter.
Yeah, me too. I feel lighter after every session. And I mean, it's like insane. So, and I'm also studying, I plan on studying to become a practitioner, because
So
it's
cool.
I mean, the coaching business, that's why. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I see you now.
Yeah.
This is all subconscious work, and I want and I'm hungry to understand how to help and heal,
Mm.
you know, and that's the method that I firmly believe in, that is heart focused. And
Mm.
so that's really cool.
That's
But
so cool. That's so cool. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And so as you're being invited, right, of the theme of this whole week has been lean into love,
lean into
right?
love.
This is one way that you can lean into loving yourself, is
Mm-hmm.
saying, what have I been invited to heal? What is the pattern that keeps coming up? Okay, that is my subconscious. I offer myself the love and compassion, and I lean in by asking for support, by loving myself, right? And getting help in my own healing. How can you lean into love? Doing exactly that.
Boom.
Boom. That's
You
so good.
got it.
It's
Summed
so
it
good.
up.
So
And
good.
it feels so much better to like have that in a summary, you know,
Yeah.
like we feel so safe in that. It's like, oh, that's not even that hard.
Mm-mm.
I can do that. I can ask for help.
Yeah. And you have, like, everyone through the summit, through being as part of this group, through this entire
Mm-hmm.
week, you have been put in contact and in the knowing, right, in the presence of people who can help you and who know people who can help you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think a huge part of this group, right, is cultivating conscious creators. And by cultivating, right, it's creating connection.
Oh
It's by
yeah.
putting information in front of people. It's by putting contacts in front of people and giving them the choice of reaching out. That's cultivating something. And so, yeah, everyone,
Whew.
you have it. And I love it. So, Angie, what is something that you want to leave people with today?
Just that, like, you know, do the reach out. Put, you know, Jilly has continued to put up people's information and my information. Y'all know where to find me. I'm here. I'm wide open. And you know, so are the sisters that we've connected with. You know where to find Erin. You know where to find Jilly. You know where to find me. You know where to find, you know, you will know where to find Kristen. We can put that up too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that Jilly has come together with a massive amount of people that coach and help and heal, and is offering this to each and every one of you personally every day.
Mm.
The only thing you have to do is make a choice.
Mm.
That's it. It's that simple. And we're
It,
here and we're ready.
we're here and we're ready. And a huge part of me being able to put this in front of a lot of people is you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you.
I love you
Thank
too,
you.
honey.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for spending this week with me. This energy is going to continue. The information is going to continue. Us showing up for one another is going to continue. You are not alone. All right. And just know that. So, all right. I love you so much.
Love
All right,
you.
everyone. Have a great, great, great rest of your day. And we will talk soon. Yay.
Woo.